Changju Bardu Dagni Katsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gibe Sunam Ki Jola Venchir Sange Juparsho
Sange
Chudang Soki Chodnam La Changju Bardu Dagni Katsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gibe Sunam Ki Jola Venchir Sange Juparsho
Sange
Chudang Soki Chodnam La Changju Bardu Dagni Katsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gibe Sunam Ki Jola Venchir Sange Juparsho.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I would. Like. See, I read her mind.
An Indian thing.
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right.
Make it a slow home.
Microphone.
Here's your microphone.
What? Oh, okay. No crinkling papers at the time of class. Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right, so bear with me, guys. We didn't cover much, so it's hard for me to make questions, but I hope these are answerable. What does Nagarjuna say we should call Nirvana? Hey, Tim's onto it, guys.
Say what?
If you really understand samsara, you would understand Nirvana.
Yeah, or that's what we call Nirvana.
That's what we call it running, yeah.
When you figure out samsara.
Good.
Here, vocab question. What was likely the Tibetan word I translated to say figure out rather than understand?
Wow.
Hey, I'll give you guys a hint.
Yeah.
We talked about this today.
Yeah, we did. Along with every other school of Buddhism.
Yeah.
Shell job.
It's not the way you're thinking. Nope.
I know, because I
Yeah.
studied it.
I almost put Ken instead of figure out.
Oh,
but then I was like, I might confuse the non.
Now
Now you're along. You're almost there. If it said let's. Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, and that's a good translation of Yongsu Shepa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Yongsu
Yeah.
Shepa. So that's cool. Like I was trying to. Yeah.
Nice.
Incorporate what we learned today.
Not bad.
How does Arya Nagarjuna refer to the process where things occur and then are destroyed? You either remember this or not. It's in one of the verses.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much a question for word. It's none of the. Just kidding. Just kidding. Anybody might remember. It's just a word. It's just one word. Do you know it, Tim?
In translation, wrote it down as can we call it an ending?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Stopping. He calls it stopping.
A stopping.
He specifically says, and that's what we call stopping. When when things are created and then they're destroyed, we call it stopping.
Okay.
What does Gyaltsab say would be the logical consequence if samsara and nirvana existed ultimately? What's the consequence if nirvana were nothing?
if samsara and nirvana existed ultimately.
Yeah, if they existed.
It's the opposite of that. That
Well-
everyone would be an arhat thing. That
Well, they existed ultimately.
Aryas would see them.
Then Arya would have to perceive it directly.
You know.
Yeah, you guys got it. If it exists.
Wait, say it again.
Oops.
Oh. No, I just want to hear the answer.
Yeah, go ahead and say it.
If they existed ultimately, and Arya would see them directly in direct perception.
yeah.
Okay. And?
And then the second part of the question is, what's the consequence if nirvana were nothing? If nirvana were
And all the people who are trying to reach nirvana will be disappear.
That's kind of close.
I'd reach nirvana if
You
I
could
smoked a dude.
yeah, people wouldn't reach. There's no nirvana to reach. People can't reach nirvana.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what Gyaltsab says.
Okay.
Aryas would see them in the direction. If nirvana were nothing, they couldn't achieve it.
That's
Aryas.
true.
He specifically says Aryas would
Okay.
achieve it.
Okay.
A couple more vocabularies.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Topa. Oh, so I want, and it's like you can kind of figure out what it means. And I guess I'm really just saying, what did it mean in this context? Because I guess it could mean a few different things. So we're talking about in the context of the question that I just asked. What does it mean?
Wouldn't it be reasonable to say you could do that?
Yeah,
They wouldn't be able to achieve it.
Yeah,
You could never achieve it.
unreachable. Is the
What?
word.
Nirvana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nesum.
Said the record. Oh, no.
This is a weird no.
Oh, maybe
No, you got it right. You got it right.
I thought.
They don't got it right. You got it right.
Yeah, they're thinking of the different. Yeah. Actually, you've gotten this one before. I recall, because I was like, yeah. Maybe it wasn't nesum, but it was.
As in face, right? Or the
Yeah,
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 the-
yeah.
yeah.
Directly.
So it means to.
Say it.
No,
You're so close.
That's ng. This is ng.
direct.
But they're related.
No, no, it's
without-
face.
It's easier than what you're thinking.
No, it's to the face or
Yeah.
to that thing.
I'm gonna put it up.
To say it to
Okay, here we go. Recognize.
Identify. Nesum.
Okay.
Just it can mean like recognize or identify.
recognize, yeah.
To grab the face.
Thank you.
To identify.
Almost.
Thank you.
It's it's cha ra shapkuru.
Look at that face.
Just so you
Come
know how to
on.
pronounce it, Gesha, it's cha ra shapkuru charu.
To the action.
Charu. Oh yeah. Huh. I didn't know that.
God, his eyes are amazing.
Yeah, he's a pretty dog.
How old is he now?
11 months. He's gonna be really big.
But he's already a Kigen Gao. He already
Actually, last night I was.
he's a Kishun Gao.
Kishin Gao.
Young dog with a beard.
Kishin Gao. All
Young
right.
dog with a beard.
You take the plane, boss.
We gotta bring that up in the debate and see if anyone figures it out. I got a Kishun Gao. Kishun Gao. A young dog with a beard.
Charu.
Those eyes are intense though.
Yeah. He's a good boy. He's
It's like, did you remember my doggy treat?
yeah, basically.
Our borrowed, our temporary dog has a tongue like that because we took out all his front teeth. So there's nothing to stop it from going like that.
Oh, it just hangs.
Yeah. He always looks like he's.
That's right.
Okay.
You take the plane.
I
sir.
take this plane
dogs are temporary
and
long.
crush it.
I think
Adam,
he
can you
was
pass me that
relating
Perrier?
to the word your mind.
Thank you.
Also true.
Yes.
So we're working on the same.
Can you just read it for good luck? Stanley want to take the plane and crash it?
Ready? Do you want me to read the other version?
No, you're trying to find him to say something wrong. There's only one word difference, so.
Oh, okay. All right.
Find something wrong with his pronunciation.
Mpo Jungwa Shikpala.
Chungwa. We just had that.
Mpo
And Gesla was just proved wrong on that.
Shikpala.
That the present Chungwa
Oh, yeah.
happened already.
Chitar Ngopa Pa Shin Te Shin Tam Pa Nam Ki Kyang Kyu Ma Che Tai Ngopa She.
Very good.
Okay.
We do without you there. Sam.
This Ngopo is just Baba, okay? When a thing starts and stops, okay? Then we can just label it a stopping. It came up, it went down. That's the kind of thing we can label a stopping, okay? In the same way, the Dampas,
Holy men.
the holy ones, okay, they also
Call.
assert.
Assert.
They also assert a kind of cessation,
That's a
which is,
illusory.
which is like an illusion. Oh, sorry, I got a Gyumache for you.
Kimache.
I'm going to read it as Gyuma Kenki Chepe. Gyuma Kenki Chepa.
Guma Kenki Chepa. The condition of illusion.
What's a Gyuma Ken?
Something that supports a human?
MKHAN added to any verb.
No.
Someone who's see,
Someone.
a magician.
No, illusionist.
Yeah.
Yeah, a magician. Okay.
Yeah.
So because of the che past tense, which otherwise wouldn't make any sense at all, I'm going to take it as a Gyuma Kenki Cheba.
Whoa.
Okay, which has been conjured up by a magician. Conjured by a magician. I don't think it's he did an illusion. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
And here we go with the commentary.
Please.
Ngopo mi takpa nirangi ngowe jupa meki ngopo ngar chung shin kepa shikpala chitar ngopa te mitak par nampar takpa.
Yeah, now when you go to translate it, take the jitar out and put it at the end, and your life will be easier. In your head. Take the jitar out and put it at the end of the sentence, and it'll be easier for you, okay?
Yeah.
Because it's in the right position, but it's a very colloquial position, and you'll never get it. Okay, so
So it's like imputing.
yeah, when we say a thing
Yeah.
is changing, okay, when we say a thing is changing, what we're referring to, we say when a thing is changing, it's not something that happens from its own side. It's not something that happens because the thing has some nature of its own, okay? Rather, it is that up to now, it has already chunged, okay?
It has already come about.
Which is to say it has kepa and it has shipa.
Destroy.
And we label those two parts gopa.
The stopping and the
Yeah.
starting and stopping.
Yeah, so it's just exists in name only. We take the top of the pen and the bottom of the pen, and a karmic seed opens, and an image comes out and makes it a pen. Okay, there's a starting of a thing, there's a stopping of a thing. The karmic seed opens, a picture comes out, and we call it impermanent, changing. Okay, but it doesn't exist this way. It exists because the parts have been unified by a picture coming out of a karmic seed. Okay, got it? Why are we talking about gopas here?
Well, Arya Nagarjuna mentioned it. Why he mentioned it, I'm still not.
No, don't look. What's the last thing Nagarjuna said?
He said that
Nirvana is,
is samsara.
Understanding.
Understanding. Yeah.
yeah, to understand what samsara is
Right.
That's nirvana.
is nirvana.
Right.
So he's on the subject of stoppings, because that's what arhats achieve. Stoppings. So now he's going to talk about stoppings,
Okay.
which is to say nirvana. Okay. So now he's saying, look, even nirvana is a pen. Even nirvana is coming out of your states.
Yeah.
There's parts of nirvana, start, end. Then your mind, makes a nirvana out of it. But never think that nirvana is coming this way.
And he's getting so intense about stopping because it's so important to the lower schools when they talk about nirvana.
Maybe,
Yes.
maybe. But anyway, the point is that nirvana is the stopping of your mental afflictions. Okay?
Saying because you're labeling things that have gone out of existence already?
No, he's just saying
Process, right?
you take those two parts in time,
Right.
the coming and the going, and you unify them with a picture from your mind called mitakpa. And in the same way, a gopa is created by having mental afflictions and losing mental afflictions. We call it nirvana.
Wow.
He's saying the advantages that Aryas have over other people is they don't think that nirvana comes from its own side, but they also don't think that
The cessation of mental
samsara came from its own side.
Okay.
They are seeing a samsara which didn't come from its own side turn into a nirvana which didn't come from its own side. That's all.
Okay.
They're both constructs.
Uh-huh.
They're both constructs, and an Arya sees it that way. Okay. And if you don't see it that way, you can't.
Reach it.
Yeah, good. Yay, mitopo. You had it as
Yeah.
on your homework. Okay, good. There we go. Okay, now, why did I ask you to put the jitar at the end?
Because it's how we're. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one.
It's like.
It's changing. Yeah.
You make a good instant packaged tea. Her real Indian tea is even better.
You must need sugar.
When you have jitar, you're comparing one thing to another.
Yeah.
We just had the thing that we're comparing to,
Right.
and we're not got to the thing yet that we're comparing to it.
Uh-huh.
So just as
Okay.
wise people, just as we use the word mitakpa,
Right.
is a picture glued onto a beginning and an ending. In the same way, what's he going to say? Don't look. In the same way as that, we got another gopa to discuss.
Call
Things being
samsara.
born and destroyed.
This thing we call nirvana. That's all. He's going to go on to another gopa. The
Oh,
word
I see what you're saying.
mitakpa is a concept put on a starting and a stopping. And the word nirvana, which is a stopping, is a concept put on, and he's going to say something.
So the jitar should be then because what's being compared to is what comes in the next.
Yeah, it should go between.
Bunch.
And it's okay to say it this way, but it's very colloquial and it's confusing. Okay.
Totally.
In the same way, it's almost like Daishindu.
Yeah.
It's the same as Daishindu.
Jitar.
Daishindu. Yeah, there's a Shindu.
Oh yeah. Shindu. Nyan.
Yeah, see, this jitar goes with the Shindu.
Yeah.
In the same way,
Right. Samsara, not nirvana.
read it first and have Jigme correct your pronunciation. Omani Bimihum.
Shindu.
Be hard on him.
Yeah. Nyangen Lende.
If you were compassionate, you would mispronounce some things on purpose.
Don't fake it.
Okay. Rang Shinepa. Nyang De Yin. Pe. Hello Yuldu. Yuldu. Charwa Korwa Lo Yuldu Charwala. Tupe.
Tupa, tupa.
Tupe.
Tupa means to listen. Tupa means to depend on. I'm waiting for the day when Sigang can tell me what tu means. In the what?
For $25.
From Nick.
No, now you know the day's gonna come when you have to start paying me if you can't get it. I'm just setting you up.
We need more sponsors.
Tenjungi Teni Show.
Trade options.
Tenjungi Teni Show.
I think it is the
Give me the definition of Tenjung. Tendel. Give me.
Oh, dependent?
Dependent.
Come on in, Tibetan.
Tendril.
Give me the definition of dependent origination, the short one.
Tendril. The
In English. Go.
Tedrup.
Tedrup.
We've only done it 12 times, but now it's 13. Tedrup. Tedrup. Here's the different spelling, but you know.
Got it.
Okay, Tedrup.
Okay.
Okay, so
And that's
not only when a coffee cup breaks do we call it impermanence because it started and it stopped, and it's a label we put on the starting and the stopping together. In the same way, nirvana,
doesn't have an essence that can be.
it doesn't exist from its own side, but rather is a unification of two parts by the mind. Korwa, Rangshin Mepa.
Same thing with samsara.
Yeah, sansara is
Yeah.
Korwa Rangshin Mepa.
Oh, nirvana is. Oh no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nirvana
nirvana
is
is
Korwa Rangshin Mepa.
The self. The lack of self to samsara.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or samsara.
nirvana is the fact that sansara doesn't come from itself.
Okay.
That's
Profound. Nagarjuna.
nirvana is the fact that sansara doesn't come from itself.
Cool. Beautiful.
Yeah, Yimbe. So for that to make its appearance to your mind, for that to get an image of that in your mind requires getting an image of sansara in your mind. What's it? The first it. For you to get an image of that in your mind, you got to have an image of sansara.
It's a
in your mind.
samsara that doesn't come from its own side. Or you could
Well,
say.
I'd say nirvana. Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah. getting an image of what nirvana is in your mind requires getting an image of what samsara is in your mind. Okay? Depends on tupa, right? Okay. Go ahead.
Te shindu pak patampa nam ki kyang kyuma chepa tabui punpo kien ingopa shito.
Yeah, in the same way as this example of what?
Now samsara nirvana?
What's
or
nirvana being compared to?
the lack of self to samsara?
Impermanence, mitapa.
Oh, okay.
Mitapa is a word put onto two events. To the beginning and the ending of an object. In the same way, the holy ones, the Aryas, this must be root text.
It's not, Papa's not me.
Dampa. See, because Parpa is artificial here. It feels artificial. It's just in a positive.
The holy ones, the realized ones.
Yeah, and I didn't black out the root text because I thought it'd be more fun if you had to struggle with it.
All right.
Okay. In the same way, the holy ones referring to the
Realized ones.
Aryas.
Assertive.
Yeah, they say, what they say, the position they take is that there is a gokpa where the pumbos never happened. Never started.
Well, that's cool.
Okay, they accept a cessation, which is the fact that the heaps never started. And don't forget, in the lower schools, which are the defenders of his 60-verse book, right? The pumbas are the ultimate example of
Contamination.
samsara. They are samsara. Okay, so just read samsara for pumbo here.
Okay.
It's what he's trying to say. Those sakjiki pumbos from the Abhidharma guys, which is samsara. Okay, they're the fact that they don't start is nirvana. The fact that they never started, meaning the fact that samsara never started. If you understand how the samsara never started, yongsu shepanna, that's
Figure
gopa.
out.
That's a higher gopa, because he was talking about a smaller gopa in his comparison. What was the smaller gopa?
Think just the impermanence of things.
Good, of a coffee cup.
Yeah.
Okay, got it? The impermanence of a coffee cup is an idea that we put on two events. And the similar cessation of samsara is an idea that we put on the fact that samsara never started.
Yeah.
Okay, got it? And in fact, the fact that samsara never started, that samsara which is your parts of you, the parts of you, samsara, which in the lower schools especially is equivalent to the parts of you, the 5 parts of you, okay? That one is like a gyumachipa, like an illusion created by a magician. You see, all he says is created illusion. But what it means is by a magician, you know, an illusion
Illusionist.
created by a magician. So I would gloss it as gyuma ken ki chipa,
Okay.
created by a magician. Okay.
Illusion created by.
Yeah, all it says is illusion made.
Yeah. So, but it seems fine to expand on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your body and mind are nothing more than a rabbit in a hat, pulled out of a hat. Okay. And may it be as easy for Katie as it is for pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Okay. Okay. So they recognize. Okay. What they say is, yeah, there is a cessation of samsara, but it is equal to the fact that samsara never started. And it's a nice pun, because what is the end of samsara? The fact that it never started, please.
Yeah.
Okay, got it? It's sweet. And this is Nagarjuna. He's got stuff hidden everywhere. You know, if you chew on it, you're like, oh my God, He's saying the ending of samsara is the fact that it never started. In this tiny little phrase, he's so off the wall, you know.
Where's the butt?
What was the but?
You said there is a cessation of samsara, but it is equal to the fact.
And I mean, it is.
I just no, it's because for you to see what nirvana is, you have to see what samsara is. Okay, depends on that. Okay, keep going. By the way, I put a yay there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where there's where Stanley's extraordinarily smart comment, which is very rare,
Natural.
okay, is confirmed right here. Okay, go ahead.
Ndi nge sungwani parang shin yang en le pa yay.
I also said yay to myself because I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't sure till then.
Lam ki topa tope yang en le pa ni. Lo pur tri gel ki ngok pa yin no.
Okay, good. Let's identify the nirvana, which is equal to the complete understanding of samsara. The one we've been on. The one we've been on. Okay? Let's identify which one he's talking about. When he says to understand samsara completely is nirvana, which nirvana is he talking about? Because there's different kinds of nirvana. Then we say, oh, he's talking about Rangshingi Nyangene Depa, natural nirvana, which is the emptiness of all things. It's not the state of stopping your mental afflictions. Okay, got it? Lamki tope Nyangene Depa.
Are we in the next one now? No.
Just translate that much.
Tope nami.
The nirvana which you
Achieve at the path,
by the practice of the path,
meaning after Tonglam.
through the practice of the path, that nirvana is a cessation. And you know this, but I think you got to sit with it for a second.
Lo por tri tra. Connected with the stench of. Oh. Something about the books?
Chijal, you know, chawa, not connected. Chawa.
Not connected.
No, it's not ndawa.
Oh,
It's chawa.
not natural nirvana.
No.
It's connected. Oh, I see.
We had it as DBRAL in somebody's text recently. I think it was Word's text.
DBRAL.
Shell.
Split, separated.
Yeah, separated,
Yeah.
not
Oh, I
connected.
thought I said that before. Okay.
Yeah. So Chi means freedom of from malas.
From the
Freedom from mala. Okay.
stench.
Lo purwa.
Low good one.
No, lobur means adventitious.
Oh, adventitious.
They are not part of your mind. They can be, the tumor can be cut out without cutting out the brain.
Right.
That's called lobur. And the good news is, your misconceptions are lobur. They are removable without destroying the mind. The Rigyan can be che without the Zigyan che. Okay.
Right.
Okay, got it? So this is a big deal in Buddhism. Oh, you're so lucky that your chimas are lobur. They come and go. Lobur literally means come and go. They are entities which come and go. They are not a permanent fixture of the mind.
Like the chain set.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Now, this sentence is really difficult. Okay. This last part says, the nirvana which you achieve through the use of the practices of the path is a cessation where you get rid of your impurities, which were in your mind not permanently, not as a come and go impurities. Okay.
Yeah.
Why did he say that? Why is this
Because
sentence
he's
there?
talking about how samsara doesn't come from its own side, and yeah, no, I was just taking a guess.
I'll give you a clue. The key is this law, which is more disjunctive than you look like. Usually law is a soft conjunctive.
The nirvana that we're talking about is natural nirvana, however,
Yeah, good. Say as opposed to.
as opposed to the nirvana that you reach by practicing the path, which is the elimination of all the stuff that comes and goes.
Yeah, and natural nirvana is the opposite of low bodwa.
Because it's always there.
It's always been there, always will be there, always was there.
Wow, that's tough.
Okay, and his language here is terrible. He should have had a knee there if it were me. In fact, I bet you could find a carving that has a knee there.
Just because.
Then it would be more clearly say, but this nirvana that you get to practicing the path, well, that one, oh, that's just a cessation of stuff that could have been gotten rid of. But this one is natural nirvana that all things have in them from the factory,
Yeah.
which is the opposite of low bodwa. Okay, got it?
Factory settings.
So finally, you breathe a sigh of relief and you say, when he said nirvana was to know samsara, what he was referring to was the emptiness of samsara, which is natural nirvana.
Wow, cool.
Okay, when you see nirvana, when you see samsara for what it is, you see emptiness, and that's natural nirvana.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
the one you get through a practice of the path, that one, that's just you practice, and you clean out all the crap. That's not what Nagarjuna is referring to here.
Right.
Okay.
Which is helpful.
Yeah, I'm so glad he said it, because otherwise it's really confusing. I know samsara since I was born, and I didn't get to know nirvana. Okay, I've been having crap my whole life. I didn't get to nirvana. Okay, here we go.
Thong lam thop ne nyang de thop par nzop pa yang trapa di luk sumi selte dole daki kewa ni se to chawa ni je so shepani hyang dra chom ki ka konar nangwe chir tang.
Again, it's a very difficult sentence, and he's like that, and I wish he would just let up for once, but he doesn't. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, I'll preface this, okay? If natural nirvana were the nirvana you got by practicing the path and removing impurities from your mind which are not natural to your mind, which can be removed without destroying the brain, okay? Tumor which can be removed without destroying the brain, okay? If nirvana in general is emptiness, then when you achieve Tonglam, you should achieve Nyangde Dzogpa in its complete form.
Completely. Yeah.
In its complete form. Okay? If it's true that knowing the nature of samsara is nirvana, then the first time you see emptiness, you should reach Arhat in its complete form. Okay? Yang Delpa Di Lusu Miselte. I take the misel as not that it's not clear. I take it to be, this is not the position of our commentary here. That's not what Nagarjuna is saying. Okay? Nagarjuna is not saying that when you see the nature of samsara, you reach nirvana in the same way when you... He's not saying that just by achieving the path of seeing, you would achieve Arhat. He's not saying that.
Yeah.
Okay? So what... Why not?
Let's see what sutra has.
No, and then he quotes a do. Dole, because sutras describe arhatship, nirvana-ship, as daki kyewa sedo.
You get rid of the self that came up.
I've got no more births. Okay? My births are over.
Births.
My births are over. Okay? Chawa cheso.
I did it.
Yeah, that's a famous synonym for an arhat. He did what he had to do. He's gone done and did what he got to do. He done what he got to do. He's finished. Okay, it's very famous in the one-day vow.
Of the Lower East Side.
Korporwa, Chawa Chepa. He dumped the load. He did what he had to do. So because sutras talk in those terms about arhat, about nirvana, oh, I stopped on my birth.
Oh, right.
Oh, I finally finished what I had to do. Then Nagarjuna can't be saying that nirvana is just to see emptiness the first time.
Right.
He can't be saying that. Okay, got it?
Yep.
When you see this kind of wording, my births are finished. I've done what I have to do.
Yeah.
It only occurs in references to Dragchombas. It doesn't appear in references to Aryas who just saw emptiness.
So that's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's our wrong look. That's our wrong look. Yeah. This book can't be saying that seeing the nature of samsara is itself nirvana, because every time it talks about nirvana, it talks about it in terms of my births are finished. I did what I had to do, which of course is Miloblam, fifth path.
No more than
Everybody knows.
everybody knows that.
So Nagarjuna can't be saying that the third path is the fifth path,
Right. Yeah.
okay? Because every time you see nirvana, arhats described in scripture, it's in this context. I finished all my births. I did what I had to do. They don't say, I saw reality. Yeah, see what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
And then the nang at the end,
I'm sorry, what?
nang wei
I think he's saying when words like this come up.
when,
We only see it.
okay.
Yeah, we only see it in scripture this way. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's all
Okay.
notes you come
We
up.
only, yeah, good luck. When there's more notes than text, you know you're going to have a bad day.
I somehow remember last time we were like, it's going to get easy from here.
Did I say that?
Yeah, we were wrong.
I got a
Oh,
feeling.
there's a quotation mark before
I'm sorry?
now.
Yeah, quotation before go.
I'm sorry, what?
The
Oh, I added that. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
great.
Let's go ahead. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Watch. Follow the
Oh, I
the
see.
scrolling screen.
We're still in sutra.
Ah,
No.
There's the next verse.
that's the next verse. Okay.
And if you don't know the thing by heart, you don't know that he's referring to the verse that's going to come later.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, he's funny that way sometimes.
Yeah, he's quoting the guy. He's quoting the next verse, and if I put the quotation marks in there, so I wouldn't forget
Yeah.
that,
Sure.
because it took me a long time to figure out what the hell.
Makes sense.
Okay, he's referring to the verse that hasn't come yet, in which he's not on, and he's going to use it to prove this one. Thanks. Okay, here we go.
Kalte Cheshe Juktopsu Shesoki Drope Zop Samsu Tenching Dropar Jungwe Dun Te Tenyi Chikpa Chitawa Shin Tongwa Te Nyerim Ki Kompar Jepe Marikpa Malupar Gat Pe Tenching Dropar Jungwe Rangshin La Mikpe Yeshe La Nepa Ni Tongwe Che La Nyangen Le Depa Tang Jawa Depa Ni Du Nampar Shakti Nampa Shendu Ni Mayino Shesung So.
Okay, so he's actually quoting Chandrakirti's explanation of the next verse.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. From chapter
Okay.
to the 60 verses.
Now, to understand that line, you have to understand the difference between Chösa and Chöshin. Okay,
Chös.
this is a Tonglam detail term.
Tonglam detail. Chös.
Okay, and it equals Parchi Mailam and Namdulam.
The uninterruptible
Chösa
path
and Chöshe equal
and
Parchi Mailam and Namdulam. Anybody?
the
Anybody?
unobstructable path
Unobstructed path and
the path with no obstacles.
and the path of freedom, liberation.
Freedom. Okay.
These are two expressions when we study the details of the path of seeing.
Tonglam.
It can be divided into two parts. One is Parche-Melam, which refers to the period of the direct perception of emptiness. Namdurlam refers to the period after that, when you are already freed from the three mental afflictions that only path of seeing are the only ones that the path of seeing eliminates forever, which are
The intellectual belief in emptiness. Belief in
doubt about the path,
belief in aesthetic practices.
and I believe in stupid ascetic practices. Okay, so those three. Now, the way they present it in the scriptures is during the direct perception of Tonglam, of emptiness, they're punching it out.
Punching it out.
Those three mental afflictions and Tonglam are punching it out. Okay? And then the last second before you come out, you know, the Tonglam knocks out those three mental afflictions. And then the moment you come out, you are free. So they call Tonglam is divided into two lams itself.
Right.
Tonglam is divided into Parche-Melam and Namdurlam. Parche-Melam, there's no pause in the fight.
Oh.
Okay, they're in direct conflict, and those three afflictions are going do, you know, and then the last moment, damn, Namdurlam, and you're still in meditation, but you come down, and the direct perception is over. Okay, so sometimes the first one is called Chusa, and the second one is called Chushe. You are mastering, and you know. Okay, you are mastering the thing, and then you're enjoying the thing you finished.
Okay.
Okay. Sometimes they're divided that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And roughly refers to Parche-Melam and Namdurlam.
Okay.
And there's a third famous division. Do you remember?
Of the path of seeing?
Yes.
Pakpe Nyamshak and Jito Yeshe?
Nice. Perfect. You should have waited till I offered some money.
Oh. That's okay, Yeshe.
Explain. Explain. Explain.
There's the period where you're meditating on emptiness, the combination of
directly
vipassana. Yeah, so you're in the direct perception of emptiness, and then there's the wisdom that comes subsequent to that, comes after that, where you realize the 16 aspects of the 4 Arya truth.
Yeah, so it takes about another hour or something like that. Okay, it's the hour after that. You're still on your meditation cushion. Okay, but you're not in the direct perception of emptiness. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So there's 3 ways to divide Tonglam. Sure.
One way is what I just said, Pakpe Nyamshak and
Nyamshak and Jeto. They just call Nyamshak and Jeto.
Nyamshak and Jito.
In direct perception and out of direct perception, but still in meditation.
One other way is Chisa and Chushe.
Yeah, you're mastering the thing, and then you're enjoying the thing after you mastered it.
And then another way to put it is the no obstacle.
Yeah.
Parche-Melam.
Uninterrupted
path.
Flow on emptiness directly, and then
Like you always have to
freedom.
Drol.
Liberation. Namdurlam. Okay. Now, you've got a line coming up that says, if just after you understood the thing, if just after you understood the thing, okay, which is kind of the wrap up of Tonglam, okay, if just after you wrapped up your Tonglam and you went on to Gomlam, you're ready to go on to Gomlam, right? In the next few minutes, maybe an hour later, okay, you enter Gomlam on the same day.
Yeah.
Tonglam takes like 20 minutes for direct perception, maybe an hour afterwards, and that's Tonglam. Then you're in Gomlam already. You're already a 4th pather, okay?
As soon as the
so,
Jito ends.
what do you think is gonna come if somebody says, well, look, if it happens just after the second half of Tonglam, what's it?
Nirvana.
Good. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Got it? If when you say nirvana is knowing samsara, right, which really happens at Tonglam, then you should be an arhat the next moment after Chushe. Okay? So that's what he's going to say.
Right.
If it happened just after Chushe, he's got to be talking about the nirvana that didn't happen after Chushe, which is the natural nirvana. Okay, got it? Okay? Got it?
Yep.
If that were the Dzogtam
Dzogtam.
for $100,
The entry point to the finish line, basically.
of what?
of your mental, of samsara.
Of samsara, yeah. Of
Yeah.
everything. For you, the goal, the
That
prize.
Dzog. No, that's not what Dzog means.
Complete
Completion
end.
line?
If that's all it
No.
was, if that's all it was.
Oh,
That's the point where you cross.
Never mind. I'm canceling the $100. If that's the point
smoothies,
at
guys.
which you are a Dzogpe Dachomba.
Complete.
Yeah, it's
You've
not
completed your
finished.
arhat.
Dzog here doesn't mean finished.
Oh.
Dzog means complete. If that's complete nirvana, if that's where you got your nirvana 100%, when?
Right after the second part of the path.
Good, right. If the moment you entered the path of habituation
Yeah.
was total nirvana, total, call it total, okay?
Yeah.
That's not.
Then they got problems. Okay. All right. Tenjin Darjin, Den Deni, Inichibatisha Shintoa, Deni Rilke Koma Chepe. Okay, so Tenjin Dawachuma.
Yes. So dependence. When the meaning of dependence,
Yeah, good.
which came earlier.
Seni Chipa I take to be Subdan.
One definition.
It's because the big selling point for Madhyamika and the reason we praise Tsongkhapa for teaching dependent origination
Right.
Oh,
is that he did it through Subdan.
Yes, up to the profound
He,
meaning.
through
Yeah.
through
He
what?
always explained it with Sabedun, submo, dun submo.
Profound.
Yeah, he
Sub-
never talked about dependence without talking about emptiness. Okay, that's why we should always praise Lord Buddha.
Right,
Okay,
which
that's why Tsongkhapa has a crush on Lord Buddha.
And the Garjana says that at the beginning in the
Yeah,
second
yeah.
verse.
No, in the praise, he
Oh,
says,
it's the
"You're
praise.
so cool."
Because you taught dependence
Not because you taught dependent origination, because you taught it
with the profound.
profoundly, emptinessly.
Emptiness.
Okay, okay. So if you interpret the meaning of dependent origination as that one perfect thing, meaning emptiness, okay, jitawa shin, okay. Now that thing, okay. If you meditate on dependent origination flavored by an understanding of emptiness, okay, rimki komna
Meditate on step by step.
chepe. If you do that, then you will eventually be able to gakpa
Stop.
all your,
All your
Marty-
misunderstanding.
One by one.
and that's a gradual practice through the practice of the path. It's not something that pops in the first moment you see emptiness in Tongnam.
He's just describing Gomram.
So therefore, Nagarjuna cannot be referring to the nirvana which
Happens directly
happens
after.
as-
Oh.
no, which takes time.
Oh, it takes time to.
Yeah, by understanding the
over.
deeper meaning of dependent origination.
Yeah.
Got it? Okay.
Lions Day.
Okay. So yeah. So he's Gyaltsab is saying the Garjana cannot be referring to that he cannot be saying that you get to nirvana 10 minutes after you see emptiness directly. He's saying you have to see dependent origination. You have to study Sugang's text. Then you got to study Udpala's text, and you understand the deeper meaning of dependent origination, and you rimki.
Step by step.
Then gradually, calm. You get used to that,
Yeah.
and then you get to a cessation. Yeah. Then you stop all your ignorances, and you gain the wisdom which sees the real nature of dependent origination. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Got it.
Now there's more.
That's what we call real nyangde. That's what we call chawachepa. Ni means that's what we call chawachepa and nothing else. What's chawachepa?
I did it.
I did it.
Did what I had
I
to do.
did it. Okay. Which is what Buddha said is the definition of nirvana. Okay. So it's not that you see emptiness directly and 10 minutes later you're like chawachepa.
Right.
You know, it's that you see it and then you work to apply it to the second husband in the kitchen
Yep.
countless times, and then you reach nirvana. No, really. It's not going to happen the first time you try to use the second husband in the kitchen. It's not going to happen. That's what Gyaltsab is saying. It's not going to happen the first time you remember the husband in the kitchen. It's going to happen 1,000 times later.
We have 1 minute, Kasha.
Damn. Here, easy. Namba Shendu Mayino. But it ain't any other way. Okay? That's what's nirvana, Nyangane Deva Yin. That's what's Chawachepa. That's the only thing that's Chawachepa that we say is Chawachepa, number shot. That's the only thing that we say is real nirvana. It ain't something that happens the moment you see emptiness, and that's not what Nagarjuna is saying. End quotation. By whom? Chandakirti. In his commentary to
60 verses.
the 60 verses. Yay! Okay?
when he's-
Don't think that's nirvana.
Yeah.
And don't think that's the nirvana being mentioned here.
But does he assert that something is nirvana?
No.
Okay. Or is he just saying that-
Yeah, he said.
Yeah, the only one that's a real nirvana is the one that the Buddha described as I did it.
which he's saying is the one that not Rangshin.
Yeah, which is Lam
The
Ki,
one that takes place
Rim Ki,
after-
Rim Ki, Rim
Yeah,
Ki.
yeah. That's why I wanted to
By seeing,
Your
get that.
misunderstanding.
yeah, interesting. It's not by seeing the emptiness of samsara you suddenly
Blink
reach
out or
nirvana.
done.
Rather, you study Sugeng's text over a long period of time, then you sprinkle it with Utpala's text, and then you work on that with the husband in the kitchen countless times, rimgi, 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 then you get to nirvana. Okay, got it?
Then you stop your misunderstandings.
But it's not, to go back to the beginning of this paragraph where you have more notes than text, it's not something chushe toksu, juk toksu.
That's achieved directly
Yeah,
after
it
the
doesn't
second
happen
process.
10 minutes after. It doesn't happen during the chushe stage.
Yep.
Yeah, okay? It doesn't happen during namdalam.
I find it kind of encouraging to see that he's like worked up correcting the same like wrong ideas about Buddhism that we still have. Like we're not just like newly, freshly dumb. Like a lot of these problems have always been problems. A lot of these confusions have always been confusions.
Yeah, sure.
Really, you find that heartening? I find it a bit sad.
I don't know. I was afraid we're getting dumber if we're only as dumb.
Oh,
It feels like there's more hope.
I think Gyaltsab Jace and Chandakirti are scared to death that there's going to come some movement of people
Yeah.
who say the moment you see emptiness directly, you're in our heart.
Yeah, clearly.
That's nirvana. You know, they're scared to death that someone's going to say that. And probably countless people did say that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it probably had happened.
It
and yeah.
still happens
Yeah.
all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
Satori.
Yeah, and he's really afraid of that.
Yeah.
So he's nailing it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not nirvana. That's natural nirvana, as predicted by Professor Chin.
Dr. Chen.
That was the smartest thing you ever said.
This guy's some mixed nuts.
Which proves if a monkey types on a typewriter.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
sorry.
you're so young to have done that already.
Sashi.
Shibruki Joshi Meto Chari Rabin Shi Nyende Genpani Sangye Shindu Nikte Uwar Giro Kunamdar Shima Jupasho Irangura Namandala Kandiyatayami.
Sangye Shivansa.
No.
Oh, stop.
I'm not starting another class. And Kun Sanam Yeshe Son Shin Sanam Yeshe Lei Chung Wei Dhamma Kuni Dobar Shom. Hey,
Thank you so much.
Acha,
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
that was a hard one.
Yeah.